Warriors! Warriors! Oh, what a franchise. Jeez, they get me through my non-footy days. The Golden State Warriors. What a team. What a win. 3-1. Sorry for the yelling at the start. Hopefully I was far enough away from the mic there. But we're in here for Team List. It's Magic Round. It's round 9. Can't wait for it. And I'm seeing Kale Iro on my screen, which is just going to be beautiful viewing come Friday night. First game, hey? That'll be good fun. Selwyn Cobbo named on there. On the front screen. Let's see how it goes. Sharkies and the Eels to kick things off. We've got Moses. We've got Yongi. We've got Riley Smith in the 9 jersey. We've got Charlie Geimer with Kitione Katonga. And that surely means we see Kitione on the right-hand side. And me, personally, very much hoping for that. Junior Jack Williams in the starting props. Hopgood in 13. Now, with the 4-forward bench, it's got to be very, very unlikely that we see Geimer for 80 minutes. Good chance we see Riley Smith for 80 minutes, and we'll know come game 1 here. What's with the KL Iro? Do they know these names? KL? Kayal? Anyway, moving along. The Eel sides, the interesting part for them is, do you jump on Moses with a chance of Origin coming round? Do you jump on Riley Smith and just lock him in as your cheap round 12 hooker? And yeah, if you're buying guys like Aaron Clark, do you look at them to play potentially in your mids, with that section being very, very tough as well? Katonga, do you start him straight up? Do you try and loop him? Personally, I have him in my side, and I'm not sure if I don't have anyone to loop him with, basically. So I'd have to, if he did really, really well, I'd have to trade someone in, like Garrick, into my centers. So that's the interesting part of it. On the interchange there, Sam Tuivasa scored really, really well last week, the other week with a 50-odd. And is it some type of cash down at a slightly awkward price? But yeah, and like, is he actually going to get good minutes going forward? Are we just buying him because he scored a try last week and looked really good in one game, where he could easily go back to not scoring as well and just being a little bit annoying to have in your side going forward? We'll see. It may work out, it may not, and some of you will go for it. On the Sharky side, we still have Adam Fanua-Blake, McInnes' options as your round 12 mids. Their interchange stays the same. Nikoro's getting cheaper. We'll see Billy Burns for a couple of weeks, but are they guys that you want to have right now, or are you going to wait a little bit on someone like Britton, who's not scoring very well, has a higher break even, that type of stuff there. Hines you can buy this week, but the no kick meters last week, 42 of them, is annoying. And then Iro, do you jump straight back on him against the team that has been struggling in recent history in the Eels, the way that he was playing before injury, potentially? I'm not sure if you will, though. So Hirotti's out. Kelma is out of this game. Roosters and Dolphins, we see Daniel Saifidi out. We knew that one was coming along, which means that their team sits exactly as normal. And Max Plass still not there, unfortunately for him, and not even in the reserve. So yeah, that's a wild situation, that one. He's going to be out for a month or so, and then apparently he is back that week, and then he gets scratched that week, and then he doesn't even get named on the team sheet as well at all. So that's an interesting one there with Plathy for sure, unless I'm missing something. Am I? No, Jerry Marshall King returns. Yeah, so Plathy not even there at all. Tough one for him. Hopefully he is all good. He's also a chance to make Origin. If you were interested in Plath, definitely just wait till round 12 now and make a decision on Plathy in that one. JMK, I'd be waiting on. He became like a half an option last year, and it didn't feel perfect. I was like, oh, but he's scoring pretty well. I just think that you can leave him and go for Smith or Clark or Wade Egan, or these types of guys are a little bit better. Definitely. Farnworth, you can still buy this week at 48 in a tough one for him. Against that left-hand side of Toya, against Hugo Savala, I think he'll have a fun time this week, and the Dolphins are playing well and should continue to. Isaiah Gatoa, a fun half pick. The Roosters side of things, we've got Teddy, definitely an option. Toya, you need to discuss him as a hold or a sell. Nawangi Tuaze, is he too expensive now? Is he still worth it with a buy next week? Do you sell Connor Watson this week? knowing that he's likely to be in Origin, misses next week. Round 14, all the rest. You got Crichton and Wong and White, all those three guys that are people do own a decent amount. And are they holds? Are they sells this week? Which one can you hold? There's so many question marks, and we'll answer all those once we have more information and once we've analyzed a little bit further in the big buys video. And thanks so much for that video and the hold and sells video. I've been super have been really, really good, and I'm very happy with how that's going. So big thanks to all you guys for that one there. Yeah, that's about it from that game, to be honest. Egan Butcher's probably someone to have a look at, but an awkward price at this stage. Rabbitohs and Knights, we see Jack White named in the 6 after there was a bit of chat that Lewis Dodd might get the 6 jersey. He has not, and he's still in the reserve. So Havili is out along with Latrell Mitchell for the Bunnies there, with Aiken going back to the centres, which is pretty tough. Harpe keeps his spot. You're Graham and Tass, so White and Sullivan, Gray. This will be an interesting situation here. We actually see Hubner off the bench. Wow. Not sure if that's actually going to stick, but that actually helps me a little bit, given I sold him with his chances of being a 50-minute plus guy. Probably, if he actually starts off the bench, probably out the window, unfortunately. So, yeah, Tallis Duncan gets the edge spot, and they're going to play Arrow in 13 at this stage. So, hopefully Hubner's okay in that scenario then. And Fletcher Myers gets a 17 jersey, surprisingly enough. So, they still don't want to have that's the utility instead of a Schuster or a Lewis Dodd. They're just going to go with Fletcher in the 17. So, this has to be the opportunity. And Pistol Pete still killing it. What a man. I'm definitely playing him this week. Stuff that. For the Knights, this is clearly their opportunity to pounce on this Bunny side that is in turmoil with injuries. Latrell out, Murray out, heaps of guys, not playing in this one basically, and it's time. It's time for them. You've got Whiten and Sullivan in the halves. If you can't beat this side when they're decimated, then well done to the Bunnies, and that's really, really bad for the Knights. So if you own Greg like myself, Fletcher Sharp, Ponga, got him in Supercoach, got him in Dream Team. I'm just going to... I didn't play him last week in Dream Team. That's how bad he's going, and he picked up a 14. So rough times, and I think I'm going to play him this week. You kind of have to against this side and just deal with the consequences. If he goes poor again, like it's just, you're done with him. He has the chance to go well. Lucas, a great buy this week. Same with Karpis Paul. Both those guys in a good position to do well. And we see Crossland actually back to starting. We'll see if that stays or not. And Gagai's a really interestingly low price as well in fantasy. Adam Elliott on that bench there with Croker and Brodie Jones. So a pretty solid setup. Thomas Cant actually misses the bench this time and potentially helps himself. If we're not ready to sell him this week and he's not playing, that's completely fine. In Supercoach anyway, Dream Team, those types of things. If you got him in fantasy, I think you sell, given the price point, and a lot would have sold last week anyway. For the Wires and the Cows, we see Jacob Laban out of the reserves there, and this side looks very, very similar there. Berry and Leataua. We still don't see DWZ. Nick Corrigan keeps the start there in the props with Halasima keeping the 12 jersey. And Aaron Clark's the interesting one this week, and Tamati Martin gets the 14, so that actually helps. That hurts Wade Egan, I think, potentially a little bit, and it helps Aaron Clark, especially if someone like Halasima isn't going to play massive minutes, which it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Ford, Valmaga, Buntiafoa on the bench. I think this really helps Aaron Clark and hopefully helps Halasima as well play some decent minutes. So if you own either of those guys, I think it's good having Tamati Martin on the 14, and probably slightly bad for Egan because the only game he hasn't played 80 was the game that Tamati played 20 odd minutes. So yeah, that's a tough one there for the Wars, and I think they'll have a great showing against the Cows this week, who possess Scott Drinkwater as a really good option this week. Yes, he doesn't play round 12, but an option for the rest of the year, not just 1 week. So you can't look at it exactly. You probably have a decent amount of round 12 wing fullbacks right now, and you can utilize them for that week and have him ready to go for round 13, 14 and onwards from there. Jackson Purdue, keep holding on to him. He's scoring really well, and you should continue playing him every week. He's just way too good to leave on your bench. I'm still seeing people do it. Just don't do it. Don't play Rob Toya over him, please. Yeah, that's it on the forward side. Let's go Tigers and Dragons in this one. We've got Galvin and Luai Dewey in the centres. Stafford Toa still going. And I think this will be a fun little clash there. They've actually got Corey Allen, who will be on that left wing, won't he? Yeah, so Sione Finau is out of this side. And Corey Allen on that wing. So maybe Stafford and Taruva can find a little bit of love down that side. And is Flanagan going to stay on the left, or is he going to move to the right-hand side with King Togia coming in to this side at 7? So I'm surprised. He's actually a 6. He plays 5/8. And Flanagan will control this side. Very, very likely here. So that's going to be super fun. Dylan Egan named to start for first time, actually. Wow. Little, DeBellin, Gula, and Lucian Leilua on the interchange with Hamish Stewart in the 13 jersey. Wow, they're actually going to change this up this week. And I wonder how that goes, because Dylan Egan was absolutely dominant that first few games, and then they only played him for the 48. So this, I hope, is good signs that with them losing, that they're making some changes here, and he's left out Ilias. Hopefully he just sticks with Egan for some big minutes here, and maybe on the weekend it was more a matter of him playing really high minutes for the 2 weeks prior to give him a little bit of rest before going nuts in this one as well. So it feels like Egan is not going to get played by a lot of people, probably me included, and he'll probably go the big minutes this week and do really, really well. So that's an interesting little setup there. Nothing else changes for the Tigers, but yeah, Hamish Stewart in the 13th. If you still hold on to him, you hope that he does get some decent minutes, but they've got a lot of big minute guys in DeBellin, Gula, Leilua, and potentially even Little sometimes with some big minutes there off the bench. So hopefully Couchman goes back to 50 plus minutes and it's a bit more of a base stat game, which it seems to be, for the most part, against the Tigers. Seems to be a fairly back and forth affair, and hopefully it can be in this one. And with King Tagia, we'll talk about him in the buys video as a cash down option. And yeah, you could definitely fill a role. It won't play round 12, but you probably wouldn't have that type of cheapie in your side in around 12 or 13 anyway. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one if you wait this week, if you go on him this week. Titans doggies. All right, we've got some outs. Curran, Burton, and Tupanua, along with Jolliffe and Gray, all out. I think all suspensions basically. And for the doggies, you see with the outside backs, Bailey Hayward go into the 6 jersey for Burton. We see Saluka Fafita starting. And on the bench, we see Curtis Moran, Blake Taff come back into the side, Kurt Mann at the 14. And surely Curdy plays a few more minutes in this game. Where's Dave Fafita? Dave Fafita been dropped. Is that dropped or is that... Wow. Can't be injury, can it? He wouldn't be in the reserves. Maybe. Wow, that's pretty wild. Chris Randall in the 11. Sorry, we'll finish off with the dogs. I'm getting ahead of myself here. For the doggies, I think Karaz goes big this week, and I'm worried about it. And I'm hoping he does well for Supercoach, but maybe not for fantasy somehow. I don't know how we do that. It's usually with those fullbacks you can kind of get away with them, the second to last pass. They get the try assist, and it doesn't work out for fantasy. But very, very hard, I think, for a running winger for it to work out that way for me anyway. So, yeah, I can see him being one of the better scorers this week in the outside backs. Maybe a change up with like Drinky and Teddy, and Karaz goes nuts against this side that is really, really struggling to defend at the moment. Maxi King had a bit of a low one last week. I think he can definitely bounce back, and I think he will. This team had a shocker, and I expect a good score from a majority of these players on this side this week after they had all the errors in the world. It was a bit of a whitewash that last game, and expected to improve for the doggies. For the Titans side of things, I think you can still fairly comfortably play someone like Brimson. Defensively was great last week. He didn't have any attacks, so wow, good flash of lightning. See if there's any sound to that one. There it is. Hello. Whew. Woke me up. That'll be fun for the video. See if you can actually hear that. We can go back and check. Brimson. Defensively was great. Didn't have any attack, so can he come out here and do a good job in this game? Potentially. If you don't want to play him, that can be fun as well. They still haven't changed to Gruden or anything like that. We don't have Kieran Foran. Not this week. So soon. Soon to be for Kieran. keen to hear back the Warriors at the start of this video as well. So we've got a couple of things to check back on. It's getting lively in JB Studios, JB Home Studios. All right, Panthers Broncos next up. So Brad Snyder out of this 21. Nothing else has really changed, has it? Alamotti to the wing, Garner to the centre. Sorry, Alamotti was already on the wing. Luke Garner goes to centre. Casey McLean out of this side. Is that going to help Jenkins? I'm not sure. Summerton's still there. Sorensen named. Isn't he getting suspended? Or maybe they're going to fight it or something like that. Hopefully Yo gets a better score this week. The bench, Trent Talau on the 14. Maverick guy, 17. Yeah, Casey McLean out of this side in the 20 jersey. For the Broncos there. Willison keeps the edge, and I think he's a really interesting option. Like Pikura in the 16, Jaden Hunt in the 17. Where are they going to get the minutes from? I think Willison was great, and if he wasn't so expensive, I'd have him as a pretty good option. But yeah, he's fairly expensive based on his skills and what he's shown so far. So yeah, Solomon Cobbo you can have a look at, but it's probably a few week play, and how good's he going to go against the Panthers? I don't know. Like he had a really good game last week and did some good work. All right, finish it off, Storm and Raiders. And as I said, guys, make sure you come say hello. If you do see me out and about around Magic Round, around Caxton, wherever you see me at the game, all that kind of stuff, just fist bump, how you doing? And going from there. If we're all usually moving a fair bit and doing some things. So thanks so much, guys, for watching, for tuning in. You're all absolute legends. Storm guys, nothing changes for them, does it? No. Munster Hughes, Chan, yeah, easy. In terms of options, not a lot. Like Farlongo looks like he's okay. I thought he got the head knock, but we'll find out on that one. Pap still kicking goals. Hughes an option this week, definitely at the cheap price, but do you jump on now or wait till later? Tamale still doing good things. Fogarty a good buy still. Horsburgh, Nicholson, still same spot, so nothing changes for this side, and I don't think you change out any of your Raiders players. Just likely keep playing them or use them as a loop, as a last second play if your loops don't work or whatever else. And yeah, I think we leave it there. That's TLT. Sorensen disputes grading a 6 others band. Yeah, there you go. So that's why he's been named. Caxton 3 road closer during Magic Round. Just be aware of that, guys. And if you are going, be aware that street is absolutely mayhem. Like getting into Caxton, especially on Friday afternoon, very, very tough. Like it's a bit of a line and you're not moving too much in there. That you can, once you get in and move to a back corner or something, you have a little bit of space. Inside's really packed. So just be aware of that going. I wasn't aware of it as much, how crazy busy everything is. And you can, it's hard to get in, move around. Drinks and stuff weren't too bad to get, but yeah, it's an interesting weekend for all that kind of stuff. And I think if you know the area, it'd be ideal to go to like different pubs. Slightly off that street would probably be ideal to see have a little bit more space. But yeah, just something to note. I'm looking forward to seeing family and meeting all you guys out there as well. So that's TLT for round 9, Magic Round. Wish you all the best of luck with your trades. I'll get in and do the best buys and everything tomorrow. We're normal time. It's going to be good fun. So thanks, guys. See you in the next one.